Ladies and gentlemen, yesterday the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya, Professor Kithure Kindiki, held interview with major media houses in this country, led by Kenya Broadcasting Corporation, Royal Media, Citizen TV, and MediaMax, K24, TV 47, among others. They gave us some of their best journalists to go and interview the Deputy President on a number of topics and issues. They tried to do their best, even though they did not ask they had questions that Kenyans would have wanted to hear from the Deputy President. And even if they asked, they did not give them the intonation that was required to try to dig out the best answers from Professor Kithure Kindiki. Take, for example, the question on security issues and extrajudicial killings that took place under his tenure as the CS for Interior. And of course, his new role as the Deputy President. But I thank God that some of the things that he talked about are going to be the foundation of my analysis. And before I go into finer details of today's analysis, allow me, ladies and gentlemen, to invite you who is coming across this channel maybe for the first time, or you have not taken your precious time to subscribe to this channel, that please consider doing so, because that is the only way to support the noble cause of MJR TV, to give you the political analysis and current affairs as they emerge. And to our subscribers, thank you for standing with MJR through these years. If it was not your support, MJR would have not been where it is at the moment. We appreciate you and we wish you Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Now, welcome back. After following yesterday's interview, I have some glimpse into 2027 campaigns and the agendas that will be sold to Kenyans. And during that campaign, if you will allow me to share with you my opinions, the 2027 campaign will be built on three-legged stool. Number one will be the issue of economy, which will form the broader talks. Number two, it will be the issue of governance. And number three, it will be tribal arithmetics. So these three agendas will help any of the camp to win the election. Because as I was listening to Professor Kindiki on the question of the economy, and he tried to do his best to answer that question, referring to economic indicators, both the macro and microeconomic indicators. What I want to say about these indicators is that the election of 2027 will not be won on the performance touching on the macroeconomic indicators. Because when you talk about the macroeconomic indicators, The layman will not understand because that is not their language. When you talk about it, you refer to issues such as the gross domestic product, the GDP growth. You are talking about issues such as public deficit. You are mentioning unemployment and also the inflation. Most of the layman or the public doesn't understand those terms. But now when you come back to microeconomic indicators, now you are talking about the smaller parts of the economy, not the bigger parts. The macro talks about the bigger parts of the economy. Now, when you talk about the smaller part of the economy, that is now where the common mwananchi now fails, and he feels it directly, because now you are touching into a single market. Talk about the prices of oil, fuel, paraffins, petroleum products, and also talk about the prices of food. Talk about the supply and demand, the equilibrium. So that is where the country or the election will be won in terms of economy. And when you talk about the inflation, which the government bragged about to lower from 9.6% to maybe 2.8% within that short period of time. In fact, they are saying within 17 years, Ruto managed to do it within 2 years. Now, the prices of food, which now mwananchi would want to listen to when you mention, they claim that when they came into power, this UDA and Kenya Kwanza administration, the prices of fuel were trading at 230 or so, and they've managed to control it to maybe 100 and something this month. Then the prices of unga, which is mostly consumed by Kenya, were trading at 250, and they have managed to drop it back to 295 or to 200 and something, depending on the brand. That is according to Professor Kithure Kindiki. Now, when they talked about money in the pocket, I know Kenya Kwanza administration came up with the issue of Hustler Fund, which has not done much apart from giving Kenyans some soft loans, which ended up into their mouths and they cannot do anything. Talk about the SMEs. There are no businesses going on. Businesses are closing because of over taxation and the shrinking disposable incomes. So that is where Kenya Kwanza administration must work on, because that will form part of the campaigns. And all along, our campaigns have always been around the issues of consumable, the consumption and the price index of the consumers must be considered if this Kenya Kwanza administration would want to win this election to proceed with their rule or in power. Now, the issue of ethnicity and regional balance will come to play. The numbers here matters a lot. Listening to a former deputy president, Rigathi Gachagua, speaking in Makueni and urging Kambas to register as much as youths to be voters in 2027. He urged them to register at least 3.5 million to 4, because in Mount Kenya, they are going to push their numbers to 10 million. And then after that, they can talk into how they can win the election and form government. He also bragged that many a times Mount Kenya has always formed the government, they are always be into the winning team, which gives him an advantage over other tribes. So William Ruto on the other side is trying to manage his politics. If you have been keen enough, you can see how he's playing with the kingpins or the ethnic leaders. He tried to persuade Raila Odinga to support him by giving him some slots within the government, four ministerial positions: the Ministry of Blue Economy and Mining, the Ministry of Energy, the Ministry of Cooperative, and one, I think, the East African Community, which was given to a school. Another one was given to Joho, Mbadi, Opiwandai, and Oparanya. Now, yesterday, he managed to bring President Uhuru Kenyatta's men on board. So, you see, he is trying to woo Mount Kenya, and not through Gachagua now, but through Uhuru Kenyatta. Because, you see, he sent home, or not sent home, sorry, he demoted 2 ministers who are from Mount Kenya, Andrew Karanja and Margaret Ndungu. Margaret Ndungu was sent to be a Kenyan ambassador to Ghana, and Andrew Karanja was to be ambassador of Kenya in Brazil. And then he replaced them with the 2 Kikuyus, and of course one position was vacant, and that was for interior, which he gave to Kipchumba Murkomen, and it was previously held by Kithure Kindiki, who is from Mount Kenya. And so in the position of Kithure Kindiki, he has brought one person from Mount Kenya. Then the 2 slots, agriculture and IT, he has also brought 2. So you can see the 3, Kindiki, Karanja, and Margaret. Then he has replaced with Kabogo, Mutahi, and Lee Kinyanjui. Now you see the mathematics here, ladies and gentlemen. So William Ruto is trying to manage his politics in a way that is very strategic. We must applaud him for that. But do you think a Professor Kithure Kindiki, who is his running mate, will do the other part? Because Ruto is managing the politics, but now administrative part of it. Do you think Musalia Mudavadi and Kithure Kindiki will manage to steer forward the service delivery and the promises which the Kenya Kwanza administration give to Kenyans before 2027 general election? This is a matter of wait and see. Time will be the judge. And as you continue to follow closely the activities of Kenya Kwanza administration, then now you come to the third thing, which is now the governance issue. William Ruto has trying to shift and reshuffle the cabinet, removing one minister from one position to another, firing others, and bringing new blood into his government. And after the Gen Z's protests, we've seen new faces into the cabinet, or some who are considered the old folks, coming back to bring what William Ruto and many others may think or take as the experience. Somebody like Mutahi Kagwe, in a matter of time, I know he will be taken back to the Ministry of Health, because this issue of social health is becoming problematic for the Kenya Kwanza administration to handle. And it is said it was grafted from the universal healthcare, which was President Uhuru Kenyatta's brainchild or administrative agenda. So he must bring back some of those old folks, and also to consult with their masters to help him understand better some of these things, because you know government is continuation. is a continuity. You can't just come up and start afresh. You must carry on with some of the policies that were formed by the previous administration or your predecessors. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is what we would want to share with you at the moment. But before we leave, we continue to urge you to give us your Christmas gift or Happy New Year wishes by subscribing to our channel. Thank you, and may God bless you.